Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another magic video today, and it'll be something that uses a deck of cards. So if you have a deck of cards, grab it because I'm going to be giving a super quick performance and then a very detailed tutorial. So it'll be great if you could follow along. That way you'll be able to perform the trick immediately after this video. So without further ado, let's get started with the performance. So I have a deck of cards here, and I'm going to show you that the cards are all distinct, right? Like it's not a trick set. Every card is present and it's all in random order. I'm just going to give the cards a shuffle, and we will get started with the trick. So usually in card tricks, what happens is that I show like cards like this, and then you select some particular card. So let's say you select this card, then we go all around the deck, and then after that we stop at some particular point, and then you place the card. I shuffle the cards and I try to find your card. But in this trick we're not going to be doing any of that. I just want you to say left or right. That's pretty much it. I don't have a spectator here with me, so let's assume the spectator said left. Oh, you said left? Cool. So we're going to discard these cards, and we're going to be using only these cards in today's trick. So what I want you to do is I want you to go through these cards face up like this. I'm going to give you these cards soon, and I just want you to go through these cards. Pick any card. I don't want you to tell me what the card is, and I don't want you to take the card out while you're selecting it. Just while you're going through it, remember any one card, shuffle the cards properly, and then give it back to me. Now for the sake of the demonstration, let's assume that the spectator picks the Jack of Spades. Cool. So let's assume the spectator picks the Jack of Spades. He shuffles the deck and gives it back to me. So what I do now is as follows. Cool. So I'm going to try to figure out the way you think and the way you visualize your card. So I just want you to keep thinking of the card in your mind, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to deal the cards into 3 sets and try to guess which set your card lies in. Cool. So I think your card lies in this set. Am I right? No, I'm wrong. Okay, which set does your card lie in? This one? Okay, cool. So I obviously wasn't able to figure out the way you think in the first try. I'm going to try again. Maybe I'll get it right this time. Hopefully. Let's see. Okay, is your card in this set this time? It is? Yeah. See, I think I'm getting better at this, but I don't want to be overconfident, so I'm just going to do this one last time to be sure that I've figured out exactly the way you think. Okay, and I think I should get it right this time as well. Then I'll be extremely confident that I know the way you think and the way you visualize your card. Okay, I think your card is in the middle set again. Am I right? I am? Great. So I think now I figured out exactly the way you think. And here's what I want you to do now. I figured out the way you think. So now I want you to keep repeating the card to yourself in your mind, right? So let's say if it was the 2 of diamonds, I want you to keep saying 2 of diamonds, 2 of diamonds, 2 of diamonds, 2 of diamonds in your mind, and look straight at me so that I can read it from your face. Try not to move your lips so that I don't get a hint. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, I think I'm fairly confident that this is your card. Okay, so can you tell us for the very first time what your card was? So it was the Jack of Spades. Okay. And this card in fact is the Jack of Spades. I knew it. So that was the performance, guys, and it's a super simple trick. If you want to learn how I did this and how to execute this, just hang around and I will show you in the tutorial. Welcome to the tutorial, guys, and I'm going to explain exactly how this trick can be performed and variations in which you guys can perform it. So to start out, I just showed the spectator that the deck had all distinct cards. That's a very normal thing to do in a magic trick. After that, I gave the deck a good shuffle, just to randomize the order. This was a normal shuffle, nothing funny here. But then the next thing I did is the first important aspect of this trick. So I don't know how many of you realized, but you need only 21 cards, and in fact exactly 21 cards to perform this trick. So there are a bunch of ways in which you can get 21 cards, right? You could just give the deck to the spectator and tell them, hey, pick any 21 cards you want, and those are the only cards we're going to be using in today's trick. I personally don't like doing that because it gives away the fact that we are using 21 cards. Instead, what I did in the trick was, while I was talking to my spectator about how usually in card tricks we go over cards and stuff like that, I was just giving him some random talk. During that time, what I did was I actually counted cards, right? So I took 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. And the moment I reached 21, I put it into my hand. And then I continued showing cards, but this was already in this hand. So I knew my right hand, which will be on the left side of your screen. So my right hand had 21 cards. Then I told them to either select my left or right. And this is the first important aspect of the way in which I performed it. So I know this has 21 cards and I have to force this onto my spectator. So in the performance, the spectator said left. So I said, oh cool, so let's just discard the cards on the left and we'll use only these cards. Now let's say the spectator says right, which is probably the best thing for them to say. Because if they say right, you can say cool, so you selected right, we're going to use the cards on the right hand. This is commonly called magician's force, okay? So you give the impression to the spectator that they have a free choice, but in fact you're forcing your choice, which is the cards in my right hand, onto them. So no matter what they say, just if they say left, say cool, we'll discard the left pile. If they say right, say cool, we'll use the right pile. In either case, you're going to be using the right pile. And this is the first important aspect of the trick. Again, if you guys find it hard to pinch 21 cards, to take exactly 21 cards from the top of the deck while talking, don't do that. You can just, pick 21 cards you like, or just give the deck to your spectator and ask them to pick 21 cards. Either way, you need 21 cards in your hand to do this trick, pretty much. That's it. Now, here's what you can do. Now what you can do is give the deck to them, give these cards to them, ask them to pick any card, and they can pick any card. It's a truly free choice, which is the best part about this trick. So again, for the sake of demonstration, let's assume that they pick the ace of clubs. Cool. The ace of clubs is the spectator's selection. Then they shuffle these cards, and again, it's truly free shuffle, and they give it back to me. So I have no clue what the card is, and in fact I don't need to know what the card is because this is a self-working trick. So from this point onwards, if you follow the steps exactly, there is no way you can do this trick wrong. You will always get this trick right because it works on a mathematical principle, which we won't get into. But for those of you who are interested, you guys can watch a video. I'll link it in the description if you want to learn how this trick works. Anyway, so once they shuffle and they have a selection, we selected the ace of clubs, they give it back to you. So here's what you do. You deal the cards into 3 sets, right? So you will have, because you have 21 cards, you'll have 7 cards in each one of these columns, or each one of these sets, basically. Cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 3, 21. So now this is the second important aspect of the trick. The first aspect was getting 21 cards. So either you can directly start at 21, in which case you don't need to worry about that. But if you want to make it less obvious that there are 21 cards, I suggest doing it the way I did it. Anyway, now the second important aspect of this trick is at this moment. So once you deal these cards, you can literally guess any set you want. It does not matter, very honestly. So let's say for the sake of it, I'm going to guess, oh, is your card in this set? The spectator is going to say no. And I'm going to ask him which set his card is in. So the ace of clubs is the spectator's selection. So it's in this set. Now, here's the important thing. So there are 3 sets. And the spectator's card lies in this set. So what you have to do is sandwich this set between these 2 sets. Right? I'm going to repeat again. So the set which has the spectator's card, which is the ace of clubs, it's in this set. I have to put this in between the other two sets. So I'm going to keep this set in the bottom, then the set which has the spectator's card, then the third set. And the order doesn't matter, it's just that the set which has the spectator's card should be in between the other two sets. And try to do this in a not so obvious manner, right? Cool. So then now because I got the prediction wrong, I'll be like, okay, let me try this once more because I'm not able to understand the way you think. So again, just deal the cards into 3 sets. So now again, you can say anything you want, it does not matter. So I'm going to say, oh, is your card in this set? They'll be like, no, it's not, because the ace of clubs is in this set. So they'll be like, it's in the middle set. I'm like, okay. So what I would say in this moment is like, oh, I'm still not able to get a grasp on the way you think. So I'm going to do this one more time and hopefully it works. And while saying this, what I did was I sandwiched the middle set in between the other two sets in this pile, right? So again, so I've done this twice now. So I dealt it into 3 sets once, asked them which set it was in, sandwiched that between the other 2 sets, dealt it for the second time, asked them which set their card was in, sandwiched it, and we are currently in this position. Now we have to do this for the third and last time. After this, pretty much the trick is done. So what I'm going to say now is that, oh, I got it wrong again. So this time I am sure I'm going to get it right. I am confident that I will get it right. And I deal the cards into 3 sets again. And I say, oh, is your card in this set? They say, no, it's not. And then I say, oh, is your card in this set? They'll be like, yes, it is. And it doesn't matter if you get it wrong again, okay? If you get it wrong, just say something like, okay, never mind, I don't think this is working. Let's try something else. Or if you get it right, that's the best outcome. You just take it, sandwich it in between the other 2 sets, and you turn the deck around. So at this moment, the trick is done, okay? And I'll explain why. So once you do this procedure thrice of, spreading the cards into 3 sets and then sandwiching the set which has their card in between the other 2 sets thrice. So once you do this thrice and you take the cards like this, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 11th card will always be the card that they chose. No matter what happens, if you did the procedure of doing that thing thrice correctly, the 11th card will be their card. But to make it a bit more, interesting and less obvious, what I did in the trick was I said, okay, so I have a rough idea of how you think. Now let's try to pinpoint the exact card. I want you to keep repeating the card in your mind and look straight at me. Now, if you get the prediction wrong all 3 times, this is the best thing to do. You can say, okay, let's forget this whole putting it into 3 sets. I don't think that's working. Let's try something else out. And then you can tell them, okay, just keep thinking of the card in your mind and look straight at me. So they'll think that you're not going to get it right, but you will in this moment because you know that it's the 11th card from the top or the 11th card from the bottom, because there are 21 cards. It does not matter. And then what you do is, once they're thinking, you don't even need to bother. You just need to keep placing cards and count 10 in your mind, but do it in a slightly intriguing manner. Like what I did was, after I think 6 cards, I kind of paused, and then I went 7, 8, 9, and for the 10th card I was like, do I put it, do I not? I kind of created that confusion, through my hand action, and then I put it down, and then I said, yes, I now know exactly where your card is, and I'm pretty sure this is your card. So can you tell us for the first time what your card was? And then they will say it was the ace of clubs, and then you just take it out and show them that it was the ace of clubs. And that's pretty much the entire trick. And the 11th card will always be their card, if you follow the procedure properly. Now, a few tips on how you can do this properly. One is, like I said, try not to mention 21 in the beginning of the trick. I don't like mentioning that we are using 21 cards. That's why I peel off the cards and make it seem like a free choice. The spectator doesn't realize any time during my performance that there are exactly 21 cards, unless he counts the number of sets and cards which I have, which is possible, in which case it's fine. Like, the person is just thinking too fast and is smart, and that's perfectly all right. But I never gave that information by myself. First tip is that. The second tip is when you place the cards into those 3 sets, there are a bunch of things that can happen, right? So let's say you get on the very first time you do that, you get the set right. So it's important how you build the story. It's important to make the spectator feel like you're doing this procedure thrice out of necessity, not for the trick to work, but out of necessity that arises from you wanting to be right. Like what I mean by that is, so let's say you get the assumption right on the first try. So you can say something like, oh, I think this is just luck. I need to be sure again that, I know exactly how you're thinking. Now, if you get it right the second time, you can be like, cool. So I think now I have to get the third. So you can just say, yeah, cool. So now I think I know exactly how you think. And so I'm just going to do this once more. And I think if I'm right, I'll be able to figure out your card. Say something like that. Say something that builds the story and does not make it seem like a mechanical process. That's my last tip. That's my second tip. And my last tip would be that when you're revealing the card and when you're dealing the cards down, you already know that the trick is over, but your spectator doesn't. So don't give that information away. Try to be a bit conspicuous, try to be a bit mysterious with the way you do it. And then when you're dealing cards, like I said, stop in between and be like, are you thinking of the card? Can you just do it? Can you look straight into my eyes? Say things like that so that you give the impression that you're actually getting the vibe off of them, right? And then, once you reach 10 cards, you just show them whichever card it is and it doesn't matter. And that's pretty much how the trick works. Anyway, this was a super simple trick that you guys can perform with your friends and family, and you don't need any sort of setup. You just need any deck of cards that it can be your deck, you can borrow a deck, anything, it does not matter. And it will always work if you follow the steps. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon with another fun magic tutorial. I'll see you next time.